Hey, business Bryce, what's going on?
How's it going, Bryce? What's on your mind?
Well, I'm watching the train wreck also, but watching it through all the progressive media and watching them just destroy it. It's just hilarious. It's beautiful to watch. But basically, my main point tonight is that we got here today because of partly, obviously, our first black president, and more about his race, not his politics. And this party wants to take us back to pre-1964, and that's really
Yeah,
what they want.
yeah,
They can't take it anymore. And I actually was watching Hot 97, and they were talking about what's going on, and like that Obama's election, not about politics, about the color of your skin.
hmm
It came back. Hard to say to harm us, but it's going to come back to bite us in the sense of that maybe America wasn't as ready, or maybe at that time, like it felt like we were ready, especially with this happiness and joy and everything.
hmm
But that dark side of our country, the racist side of our country, the dark side of our country, can't take it. They just couldn't believe it, and now they got Trump, they got a platform, and
hmm
they could come out against not only black people, Islam, Muslims, transgender, gay, but white people like Bernie Sanders and others that are well, not pro, but are not racist.
hmm
That basically like what they would call nigger lovers, basically. You like the blacks and you like all these other races. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be with us, and they're pissed, and they've come out, and obviously the establishment situation doesn't help in a lot of factors, but this is what you're seeing. Of course, the justice system, people getting off, and this is the big backlash,
Yeah.
and this is going to sadly this is probably
Yeah.
going to end up happening.
I have to agree with I have to agree with a lot of what you said. There is an immediate backlash that has happened as a result of the election of President Obama. Yeah, because there's this. Damn, I'm sorry. You guys have to forgive me. I'm an empathetic person. I try to place myself. I don't even try. It just happens. I automatically place myself in the shoes of somebody else. It's just a bad habit I picked up from religion. I'm sorry. It's just there. I can't help but do it. But I can understand why some of these crazy white Republican conservatives and white men feel as though they are being ostracized. And that's probably the craziest thing you're going to ever hear me say on my show. But let me explain. I can understand it from the perspective of having to evolve on LGBTQ rights and having to evolve on not women rights, but understanding the implications of catcalling and the harassment and things that women deal with on a regular basis. Because I didn't understand it, or because I wasn't necessarily on board with it at an earlier stage, as you see people's rights being expanded and you disagree with it, you really take that personally, like it's an attack on you, right? I'm not saying it's logical or right. I'm just saying that happens. That happens. And I think it's a part of the human condition. And I think that on the progressive side of the conversation, if we ever found something that stepped on our toes, then it would be, we likewise would find that we will feel that same feeling that someone is gaining rights at the expense of our rights. It's not logical. It's not factual. It's not a justification for how ignorant people are acting. I'm just saying I've felt that feeling myself. And because I'm the sicko that I am, and I actually place myself in the shoes of other people just by default, I get it. I get how these white people at the RNC this week are championing this crazy white nationalist because they genuinely feel that all of the expansion of rights for the LGBTQ community, the election of a black president, they even are talking about affirmative action still. They feel like all of these things are an affront to their rights. It's not accurate. It's not logical. It's not a justification. I'm just telling you, this is what they genuinely feel. They are sincere in their bigotry and in their feelings, right? Let me stop being a dick about it. They're sincere in their feelings. And so the backlash that we got was a backlash because they felt, oh my God, my world is coming to an end. And they feel like, oh, all of my freedoms are going to be infringed upon so that we can accommodate all these people. And so they honestly feel like we have to take America back to a time when it was more comfortable for them because they had access to all of the freedoms and liberties without any regard to the freedom and liberties of anyone else. Right. That's the huge caveat. Right. They were so free that they'd never had to be concerned with the freedoms of someone else. So when they say, let's take America back, let's make America great again, they're expressly saying, let's go back to the time when we never had to be concerned with the rights, liberties, and freedoms of any other group except ourselves. Again, I get it. I don't agree with it, because I think that's a very childlike position to be in. That's a very narcissistic and a selfish position to be in. That's a very narrow-minded position to be in because you've never allowed yourself to be challenged. You never allowed yourself to consider that maybe I am the bigot on a particular issue. Maybe I am a bigot about my LGBTQ rights position. Maybe I am the bigot in regards to women. And if you never do that, then you're not really useful for a human society. I'm sorry. That's where my empathy ends. It's because I can understand why you feel that way, but I also understand that's how a child acts. That's how children act. They cannot understand why sharing a space is not detrimental to them, but it is about creating a space that everyone can share, right? That's a child. And we're dealing with very sophisticated political children. People who are very sophisticated in their political propaganda and their ability to get electoral wins, but emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, right? I'll say that from a religious perspective, they're children. And you can either have patience with children or not. It depends on what night you get me, whether or not I have patience. I don't think I do tonight.